Like I am literally buzzing with excitement of all the things that I know this class is going to be about. So thank you for joining me. My name is Coach Christy Ikedeze, and I'm that your favorite early marriage coach, right? My job is to equip you with the lessons, with the trainings that you need to be the right bride that you are supposed to be and to attract the right man to your life. All right. So today we're going to be talking about something interesting. Have you called your members? Have you called your fellow? Are they aware that something is happening here today? You see, when I was preparing this for this particular class, God was laying in my heart so many things I'm going to be sharing with you. So I will encourage you, if you have not called your group members, kindly go and call them because it's about to get hot in here. I said it's about to get hot in here, and this class is a class that you sit down with, you digest all the knowledge, and then you go back and implement it in your own life. So don't come casually. If you don't have your writing materials, this is a time to pick it up and begin to look at things differently, because this section was given by the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. So you want to pay attention to every single thing that is going to be taught here. All right. So, like I said, we are talking about we are talking about how to become that bride who is meant for the kingdom and for the palace. The bride who is meant that is meant for the kingdom, because if you want to be um, a certain kind of person, there are prerequisites to becoming that kind of person. So you can't just be that person and by accident. There has to be some level of intentionality, some level of discipline, some level of saying, this is what I want for my life. All right, just give me a minute. Let me fix something. I'll be back. Okay, so sorry about that. Yes, but and I'm not going anywhere again. So I was talking about how preparation is a key aspect of whatever you desire, whatever you want to get, you know, from life, whatever you want to get out of life. It is in your hands to decide what you want for your life. All right, so this session is going to be quick. I have to make it quick so that we don't exceed our time, because there is so much to talk about, there's so much to be spoken about. So the earlier we start is the better. So we're talking about becoming that bride meant for the palace. And our scripture reference is Esther chapter 2, verse 8 to 10, and verse 15 to 20, and also Esther 4, verse 11 to 17. All right, these scriptures are life changing, they are life transforming, and it changed my perspective, it changed my life. It literally opened my eyes to some things that I didn't even know was there. So we're going to be looking at this scripture one after the other and make reference to it. So basically, the story of that scripture is how Queen Esther got into the throne. The gist behind her enthronement, that's just it. How she, got to the palace, how she was fashioned by the cousin. The cousin walked the cousin, I think the cousin. Yeah. Her cousin walked through to the palace. And I want to ask you, do you have a Mordecai in your life? Oh, Holy Spirit, help me. Do you have a Mordecai in your life? If Mordecai in your life, your duty today, as you are leaving this class, your job is to go and find a Mordecai for life. Because if you don't, you're going to have a trip to where you are going. Esther is our model woman in today's conversation because of the role she played in her days. Esther was not just an ordinary woman. She was extraordinary. She had something she was known for. She was known for. She saved her people. She saved her country people. If not, they would have been destroyed. If not for Esther, people would have been destroyed a long, long time ago. So she is not just a role model, she is also a legend. She's also a heroine of her time. She made an impact that could only be made by someone who was determined to make life better for her people. So if there is anything that I want you to hold on to, this must do, because if you do not do, just a simple woman who met fortune. She was prepared for the throne and she fits into it so well. So it's not just that, oh, the uncle helped and made things easier for her, the uncle did this and that. Those things are there. However, it is still important to make it clear that Esther walked her way through. She didn't just throw into the palace. She was trained. She was well prepared to be in that space. So she was prepared for the throne and she fitted herself so well into it. Every girl desires to be a bride someday. I don't care what the world is turning into. Even the little ones, even our little ones, they are children, but trust me, they are thinking about marriage. In a way, they are thinking about marriage because they want to be sure that they are going to one day have to be their, what children decide. Children want to just be that, special one. So it is in the heart of every girl child to be a bride someday. However, as she grows, the happenings or the programmings around her either facilitates that desire the more into fruition or kills it completely. So the things are happening to her, the things are happening around her can either make her to feel, that this is possible or that this is worth fighting for, or can also make her to feel like, oh, I don't even know this whole thing, no, I'm not called for marriage and all that. You know how people grew up because of the things that have happened in their life. They about I'm not interested in getting married, I'm not interested in having a spouse, I don't want marriage, I don't want this, I don't want everybody, just stay on your own, I don't want. That's the kind of thing that people actually face in real essence. So the nurturing that you receive can either make you to look forward to marriage or to want to just, in fact, there's no big deal in being a bride. I've actually seen people that talked about, how they don't want to get married, just want to be on their own, please nobody should bother me, I'm not interested, and stuff like that. And somehow you may not necessarily fault them, because they have gone through things that made them to think that, oh, I don't want to get married again, I don't want to be a bride. But that's not the way it was designed to be. Even if marriage doesn't happen, and you shouldn't kill yourself if it doesn't happen, you should still have that desire in you. You should still want to have a family of your own, settle down, build your life, and all that. They are very, very important. The script of your life is not written by you, it is written by God Himself. Did you hear that? The script of your life was not written by you. You are playing the script that has been written for you. It was written by God, and you must trust Him enough to believe that He has your good at heart. Sometimes we are very, very anxious about, oh, this thing is happening to me, that thing is happening to me, I don't know how I'm going to cope, this and that. And I understand those things. I understand it completely. However, you cannot trust God and also trust in you and also be worrying. You either trust God or you are worrying yourself. So you have to choose. Do you want to trust God, or do you want to? It's not the same as thinking about a problem, preferring solutions and all that. If you are worrying, it simply means that saying, I don't trust that you are able to take care of this. But if you trust or details of your life, it's not up to you to decide. You didn't bring yourself here, remember? You didn't ask to be born. You didn't prepare this life that you have before coming here. God was talking to Jeremiah. He said, before I formed you, I knew you, and I ordained you a prophet to many. So there was a you before you got here. So don't think that you just came here out of your own willpower, out of your own strength and all that. If you can only trust God and the teacher He has given to you, then your life will get to where it needs to get to. If you can trust God and trust the teacher that He has put in your life, because who we are discussing about today, Queen Esther of the Bible, was someone who had teachers all through her life. She never at any point outgrew a teacher. She did not. She always, accepted that, yeah, I don't know it. I do not know it all. So if you do not see yourself like that, as someone who is capable, as someone who is by God, as someone who where God will use you, you will not be in that space where God will use you. You will always be struggling. You will always be worrying about things that you shouldn't worry about. God has placed a teacher in your hand. God has placed a mentor, a coach in your life, and you shouldn't just live your life anyhow. If you acknowledge that there is someone who God has placed in your life to teach you in every area of your life, then you begin to respect them enough to listen to what they have to say. Sometimes we just go on our own and think that, oh, I know it, I'm another and this and that and that. You are not that, whatever you think you are. Trust me. You are not really that person that you claim you are. So I want you to look at yourself and ask yourself, am I in the right place that I'm supposed to be? Am I doing the right things I'm supposed to be? Am I growing enough? Do I have teachers? Do I have mentors who are guiding me, who are following me to know where my life is headed? Esther trusted God in all circumstances. She was a queen in the making because she had a queen maker who was Mordecai. She trusted God. She was a slave. You are not even a slave, and yet sometimes you doubt the things that God, wants to do in your life. If you believe that God has so much in stock for you, it will affect the things that you do. It will affect how you carry yourself. It will affect so much about you. But if you don't think that there is so much about you, that's when you will start living life anyhow. So I encourage you today to trust God no matter what happens, no matter the challenges that you face. Know that God is for you. Know that God is for you. And it doesn't matter what the enemy does, he will always come true for you. He will always come true for you. So Esther trusted God, went in by faith. Sorry about that. We are back. So she knew that she was not doing something out of her own accord. She was doing it with someone guiding her, with someone directing her, with someone directing her path. So whatever your knowledge, or do you have challenging you to do better? Who is challenging you to become the best version of yourself? Now, if you are going to get far in life, you must acknowledge the importance of a mentor who would walk you through the process of you becoming a queen. You want to be a queen. You don't want to submit to a queen maker. It's going to be hard, really hard. So if you want to truly be a queen maker, a queen in the making and be a queen in reality, then you need to become someone who loves instruction, who adores mentorship, and who understands the importance of submitting to an authority. Because if you don't submit to an authority, you risk your life, because dangers can be coming, and the instruction you're supposed to receive, you will not even pay attention to it. You will not even listen. You will not hear. You will just be doing whatever you like, and at the end of the day, you will start seeing yourself struggling. You start struggling. So here are 5 steps to becoming that bride meant for the palace. Number 1, you must see yourself first as a queen before you begin to look like it or act like it. You need to become someone who embraces her identity as a queen. Do you know that you are meant for the palace in the first place? Do you even know that you are meant for the palace? Because if you know, it will challenge you to do some certain things differently. Secondly, you need to cultivate the habit of, or the trait of a queen, which of course I'm going to be talking in details, shortly. But you need to be that woman who have come to the point where you have cultivated the habit of becoming a queen. And you will ask, what's the habit of becoming a queen? I'll tell you as we go. Just pay attention to this class. Don't let anyone or anything to distract you. Number 3, submit to your Mordecai to be trained. You want to go your own way. You want to take your own path. You have forgotten that You cannot do life alone. You cannot go far alone. You cannot become that person you're supposed to become without someone on your side. So, if that is how you see yourself, if that is your disposition, that I need to be trained, do you know that you cannot just become a queen without training? There are special trainings which are done for everyone who is going to be a queen one day, or a king, or a prince. So you don't just come out from nowhere or from the street and become a queen. There are procedures to becoming a queen. There is a process. There are requirements. There are qualifications you need to attend to before you can even call yourself a queen. Number 4, surround yourself with the right company. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of the people you have allowed into your space, that you have allowed into your life. If there are people who are purpose driven, it's easy for you to also be purpose driven and also, live your life purposefully. But if you live your life, or you find yourself in the company of people who just behave anyhow, who just talk anyhow, who is just anywhere, and like they are everywhere, those kind of people are not the people you want to have in your space, because they're going to corrupt the seed of godliness in you. They're going to corrupt the seed of discipline in you. They're going to corrupt the seed of, struggle for you. 5, position yourself as a bride and carry yourself like that wherever you go. Position yourself like position yourself as a bride and carry yourself like that wherever you go. You don't go to somewhere and then say, I'm uncomfortable to you, I'm shy to carry myself like a queen, or to speak like a queen, or to even interact and let people be able to spot and say, there's something about this person. This person is not ordinary. This person is not regular. This person is not normal. There's something about this person. Can people say that about yourself? So you need to position yourself, because it was positioning that led Esther to be enthroned. If she did not position herself, it would have been a very challenging path to get into the palace. Now, if you keep hanging around the palace, one day you will be called in. If you keep hanging around the palace, one day you'll be called in. No matter where you may have come from, if you see yourself as a slave, you will remain a slave. It doesn't matter if you came from the palace, as long as you think, because as a man thinketh, the Bible says, so is he. So that thing you are thinking is not just, you cannot say it doesn't matter. What you are thinking is what is forming who you are becoming. What you are thinking is what is programming your mind to start seeing yourself based on what things you have said or spoken to yourself by yourself. So you need to grow where you are careful about the things that you say about yourself, the things that you say to yourself, the things that you even imagine to say to yourself. You don't just say everything or anything to yourself. Now, but if you pay less attention to your background and rather focus on who you can become, then you will squeeze yourself into the palace in no time. You will squeeze yourself into the palace in no time. So you don't even start folding your hands to go and rest, or to sleep and wait for your Prince Charming to come and carry you. No, talking about you walking your way through it all. Walking your way through it all, knowing that it is either we get here or we get here. There is no other option. There is no middle ground. It is this. Esther did not need to reveal who she was, where she came from, rather. She did not reveal where she came from. Sometimes learning to keep your mouth shut. Not everything deserves to know your history. Not everyone rather deserves to know your history. All this, anybody that just gives you small attention, you're already saying things you know you should not say, things that you should keep quiet about. You have blow all of them out. Why? Because you think that by saying it and getting validation from the person you are talking to, you have been fulfilled. And then you look for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So please, there are things that you must not say about you to other people. Esther protected her identity for a long time. But it's not that she was denying it. She wasn't denying it. Because if you check the next few verses or few chapters, you will see that she actually risked her life for her own people. She actually went all out to the point of, saying, if I perish, I perish. You just quote that, if I perish, I perish, as if it's just one rhythm like that. No, it is a real life situation. It is something that occurred, for which we need to now be very, very careful. All right. So keep your mouth shut when you need to keep your mouth shut. If you are going to be a candidate for the palace, you need to control your appetite. This appetite. Some of us, everything that's hungry, you must eat it. If puff pass and you want to eat, you eat puff. If mango pass and you want to eat mango will come. Everything. You can't control your appetite, whether it is food appetite or sexual appetite or money appetite. They are all extreme. So you need to deal with that bad appetite that you have. Now, when Esther, sometimes what you actually need may not even be what you particularly fancy. What you need may not be something you particularly fancy. It might even be something that looks like mundane, that looks like they are old-fashioned. But I'm here to tell you that might actually be what you need. You may not need all the flashy things. You may not need all the cozy and juicy things. You might actually need that small percentage to make the best out of your life. To make the best out of your life. If you don't do that, you're going to keep struggling. You will keep struggling. Now, when Esther, in Esther chapter 2 verse 15, was supposed to pick the apparel she needed to present herself before the king, she submitted herself to choosing only what the king's eunuch allowed her to wear. Who was Hegai? That was his name, Hegai. So this young woman was meant to go and see the king, and the rule says, open the warehouse. How many of us would like that? Open the warehouse. Let it roll. Our people that just do the AFVCA and a lot of fashion, like as always, will come up and all that. So you just be wondering, what are we now going to see this year? This year I could see someone that made a gown with bread as it was beautiful, trust me. And I learned that that's her business. So she's actually using that medium to promote her business. So what's my point? My point is, we have a certain thing we want to wear. We have a certain way we want to appear. But at the same time, you know that you should also be objective about it, open about it, so that if your mentor says, I don't think I like this clothes you are wearing, maybe you should wear something else, and you quickly run and go and do it, because I respect you enough and I honor you enough to know that when you say something once, I should pick it up and run with it. And we all know how it ended for Esther. just because she listened to an older person who was teaching her, a eunuch who has been there all the while with the king. And you want to just come today and know what the king will get appealed to. You already know what the king will like. No, no, you cannot, you cannot um go with the things you like to impress someone else. You need to come on the things they love or they like to be able to make an impression. Because if at the end of the day you do not make the right, they will take you back to the second house where you remain there and wait. If the king said, I don't want to see you with my eyes, they will take you there. That's where you will remain. Because those people were selecting things that they liked, forgetting that they're going to meet a king who has seen it all and known it all. So is it not simple wisdom to say, I think I need help? You can need help on so many other areas, in so many ways you can need help. So help is not restricting to money. It's not restricting to tying your leg up when your leg is paining you. It is much bigger than that. This Haggai was so good to Esther that Esther found favor in his eyes. Now, sometimes it's not what you fancy. Like I said, it is what you ask yourself. It is about the significance of what I need to wear, the importance of what I need to hear, and the message there for me. If you're going to be a candidate for the palace, you need to control your appetite. You can't get everything you like. You can't. You cannot get everything that you like. There are things that you cannot, you shouldn't even bother about them. Like I said, you shouldn't even bother about them. Now, before Esther presented herself, she took what the king wanted. She submitted herself, and it was that singular submission, it was that singular act that placed her in front of other people, that made her to stand out, that made the king to find interest in her and said, this is now the one I want. Sorry, let me just take a sip of water. My throat is dry. All right, so you need to understand that you must have someone you trust enough to give you wise counsel, to make life better for you. You are not a no man land, neither are you a lone ranger. You must submit yourself to a process where you are properly trained, properly scrutinized, you are properly raised, you are being nudged every now and again. Because Esther submitted herself, the eunuch, she found favor in the sight of the eunuch. But if she was looking at the things that, I'm the privileged one here, and the one that the king might likely want, how do you know if the king will want you if you do not know how to come out? And the king will be captured and he will be dumbfounded. He will be like, or he will not remember his mom. Oh, my mom, this is how my mom used to dress. Oh my God. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So she trusted Haggai and knew that she was going to benefit from his wealth of experience, not just, for what is for clothing, but for every other thing. So she knew that she cannot just appear to the king like that. She needs to prepare herself. So she found favor in the sight of the king because she listened to what Haggai told her. It's possible that all the other guys did not ask Haggai anything. They just went straight up. You have seen it now. Straight up and went with the things that you like, not the things that the king likes. So I want you to understand something in this class, that some things that happen to you is as a result of no mentor at all. Some things that happen to you is as a result of no mentor at all. You don't want to give yourself to be taught. You think that I can do it, and you keep making several mistakes that are completely unnecessary. Some of the mistakes that people make are mistakes that are completely avoidable. While other young women could have gone ahead to select what were fanciful to them but not functional for the office of a queen. Aya. Not she wasn't looking at, oh, this cloth, this one. You know, when they open, imagine that they open a warehouse of every designer possible. You have your Gucci, you have your what's it called now, Prada, all of them in different things, right? You have all of that, and they're asking you to wear one clothes like that looks so old, and this man is telling you, if you wear this thing, you are entering the palace, you have become a queen. And somehow I believe that Esther would have said, if this mentorship something is tiring, how can this man tell me to wear this kind of thing, and I have the opportunity to go in with what I love. Sometimes it's not about what you love. It is not about what you love. It is about what should be done at this time, and you begin to do it. Now, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to take them seriously, because I believe that answering them genuinely will help you in this season. Are you going after fancy or function in your choice of fashion or clothing? That is, as a person, do you go more after things that are fun, things that are fanciful, things that are trendy, and leave the things that you need because you are busy chasing shadow? Will I buy a car? Yes. Will I drive a car? Yes. Will I buy a house? Yes. But they are not the only end goal of what I do. They are not the end goal of what I do. So you need to know all of this. There is no nudity in the palace. No matter what the world standard says, God's standards remains the same, remains accurately accurate, no matter what man said, because we were created out of his own image. So are you going from or for family? Do you think that, let me just be wearing, as a mother, there are things I can no longer wear, not because it doesn't have. I want my child to see the right kind of example from me, not the one that they'll be dreading their mother. So there are things I must give up to be that kind of mother. There are some things I will have to, allow it be, simply because I know that enough to make me lose the right thing that I should not have. 2, okay, before then, if your standard changes as the culture shapes, as the culture changes, then you are not a candidate balance. If it is that when something happens today, you blend it, tomorrow another thing will come up, you come out and also blend it, the next time another thing will come up, you come up, and because trust me, things will keep repeating in circle and going and coming back. It's just in a sense. So are you in that place where you think that is whatever is reigning is where I am? Then you cannot be stable, because change is the constant thing. And the only thing that is change. Number 2 question: who do you vet your appearance through? Who goes through how you appear? They may not always need to be physically there to drag you to do all sort of things, but if you trust them enough, and know that, oh, they mean well for me, then you have peace. You will have peace. So stop changing your attire, your fashion, as the world is changing their own. Even if the world wants to bring out, why will you not bring out your own? Why can't you bring out your own, so that people will buy it? Buy it because you have the purity and sanctity in mind when you are building it. So something, when you stand in front of a mirror, who comes to your mind first as the one who you know will or will not approve of what you are wearing? Who is that person? Do you have such a person? Or you can just post anything you like, dress in a very seductive and provocative way, and you are wondering why things are happening. Why is no man taking me serious? How will a man take you serious if you do not vet your appearance through somebody? If you just go ahead and wear what you're supposed to wear without considering the fact that other people will see this, and it can even affect their faith, because they'll be wondering, if this person can do a thing like this, how much more me? So run your appearance through someone at every given time. Of course, God sits in the first position of this whole conversation. In terms of your appearance, you should dress to honor God first of all. You should grow to honor, like you should dress up because you want to honor God, not necessarily because everything is okay, not necessarily because you don't feel like wearing those short ones. We also feel it. So ensure that you are in that space where you are doing what you need to do. God sits in that position, so you must honor God by your dressing. And then the representative of God in your life, who are the people that are now mentoring you, they should also vet your appearance. Your fashion should not be out of fashion. Your fashion should not be a seductive fashion where everybody that comes near you, everybody that approaches, will just leave and be wondering, who did I just encounter, because of the way you are dressing. Now, if you are now a young lady, this is especially true for you, a young lady who has not married yet. You do not need freedom, because absolute freedom is a total bondage. And and at the end of the day, it is a bondage. At the end of the day, it might look like, oh, I can do anything. Like, have you ever seen a mad person on the road? A mad person does not need someone to come and cage. He will be walking round. Even if you say nobody should come outside, if you come outside, you'll be kidnapped, or if you come outside, you'll be arrested. For where? What are you going to do with me? I don't have anything. So those are the people that have absolute freedom. Except that's the kind of freedom you're talking about. But if you want the freedom within the confines of a home or a family, then you have to know that there are things that you cannot do. There are things that you can never do, because you are trusting that God is able to frown at things like this. And you say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. For the sake of God, for the sake of people who are, looking up to me, for the sake of my parents, for the sake of my mom, I can't do things like this. I have to do it a different way. Now, whoever has no boundaries or limits to what she can or cannot do is not free, but bound by lack of boundaries. So you see, you cannot run away from boundary. Even if you dodge it from here, you will meet it here. There is no way you can say, I want absolute freedom. I want to be able to do everything I like. This clothes, I must wear it. Do what works for you. Maybe that's the way you are saying. Do what works for you. Do what you like. Without knowing that you are putting your life in danger. Now, Esther didn't try to use her freedom of not being monitored, not being, she didn't use her privilege of being nominated for the queenship to start acting up, to start, I'm an independent woman, I don't depend on anybody, I can do what I like to do. She yielded herself, not just to Mordecai, who was her uncle, but to Haggai, the king's eunuch, who was always in the business of preparing women. Because you know how many women has passed through the man. For being a eunuch, it means he has spent his entire life with this man. So you should be able to trust that person. All right? She gave up her freedom for something bigger. She gave up something for something bigger. That's also what you should do yourself. You should be able to give up something for something bigger. She submitted herself to the instructions given by her mentor, her guidance, her, coach, and it paid off greatly for her. It paid off big time for her. All right. Let's look at the third one. The third question is, do you care more about God's opinion of you or the world's view? I know that you'll be quick to say, oh, I'm for God's opinion. I don't care what people say. But do you really mean it in a true sense of it? Do you really do that in your personal space, in your private space? Do you take God as the ultimate? No matter what anybody says, as long as God is happy with me, I am fine with every other person not like me. If the world is the standard with which you measure yourself, you will never be stable, because the world is only changing the standard. Tomorrow the standard is up here, next day it is down. The upper one, it has gone up, next time it is down. You cannot bank your life on that. You need to be able to stay stable, and the way to stay stable is to stick with what God has said about you. Stick with who God has made you to be. Stick with the things that God has designed you for. Stop looking for what is not lost. Stop looking for what does not exist, and start practicing how to trust God and remain so. How to entrust your life into God's hand through a mentor, because that's exactly what you're doing. It's not like you're going to dump your life for the person, but you are able to replicate yourself and to know that whatever be the case, this God that I'm serving is going to stand in for me. Now, the standard of God remains permanent. Nothing can change it. It remains changing. It remains unchanging. Sorry. So whatever that, whatever the word says is not what God is saying. Whatever God says is not what the word is saying. The word is saying something entirely different. So that's why you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself and know, I cannot do things like this. Don't run your life on the opinion of others. What about you? You don't run your life on the opinion of others. You run your life on God's opinion about you, on the standard that God has set for your life. If you don't do it like that, you're going to be in a very difficult place. Esther did not reveal her identity. She did not reveal her identity early. But of course, she eventually did, because that would have jeopardized the chance of her entering the palace even before she would be given a chance to defend her qualification. So sometimes there are some things that you will say, let me hold on to, let me not say it now. Are you getting what I'm saying? Let me not say it now. It might put me into trouble. I would rather I wait and say it at the right time. Some successes does not need to be announced too early. Some successes, they are not supposed to be announced too early. You need to hold it up and think about it deeply before you start taking any step. Sometimes you need to keep a low profile, especially in this age of social media and show off obsession and addiction to appear perfect, addiction to appear like who you are not, addiction to appear rich when you are broke, addiction to appear happy when you are terribly sad. So in all of that, what do you say about yourself? Now let's look at how to cultivate a queen's mindset. I'm going to run quickly because our time is fast spent. Change the way you see yourself. The way you see yourself determines the way you see life generally. If you see yourself as not good enough, you will never be good enough. If you see yourself as good enough, you will be good enough. You will be good enough. So change how you see yourself. Change your perspective about yourself. Change it today, not tomorrow. 2, create a new circle. You cannot desire to be in the palace and roll with friends who think like slaves. So now you have desired that I want to be in the palace. What kind of friends are you keeping? What kind of company do you have? What kind of people do you roll with? If you check today and you see that that's your lifestyle and the old friends you have matched, but now that you are thinking about life differently and doing things differently, you should now start asking yourself, where do I need to go to find, or you don't even need to go too far. I need to now cultivate the right friends, the right circle, who are also thinking about getting into their own palace like I am. And when you do that, you will see how things will change for you. Are you getting what I'm saying? Is this class valuable to you? Is it making any sense? Are you getting value? Are you getting value from this class? Are you sure you are getting value from this class? Type it in the comment section if you are. Let's see. So how to cultivate the right mindset as a queen? I have said that you need to change to yourself and you need to create the right circle, new circle. So change your circle of friends, change your sometimes even family members, especially when it's extended family members. You can say, this is the lines I'm not cross because I am building something. Remember, the end goal is that I want to become this queen. So you need to cut off whatever that can be a distraction, whatever that can alter that, whatever that can jeopardize your chance at it. Now, slaves are not just people who are poor. I'm not talking about, when I mean don't roll with slaves, I don't mean don't roll with poor people. I'm talking about people who like, they are not people poor. Slaves are not people who are poor or dress tattered. They are people who have little or no values that govern their own life. They are people who do not place premium value on themselves. No premium value on themselves. And they feed on the validation of others. It is what somebody else said, it is what that person said, it is what this one said. So you are banking on all of that. Instead of banking on the fact that no matter how much this can go wrong, I know where it will stop because God is for me. Slaves do not appreciate what they have, but you as a person must learn to appreciate what you have. Those who go about naked in the name of fashion, or those who feed on the validation of others, they are the people who are poor. They are the slaves here. 3, curate We're talking about the 5 C's of a queen's mindset. Curate your future, the future you. Create your future you. The life you desire to live is up to you to create. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years from now? Write it and paste it where you can see it and begin to work. Now you ask yourself again, how do I get there? Because it's not enough to make rules, to make to say I'm going to do this big thing, right? It is also important for you to know how to go about it. Cultivate a humble attitude by submitting to an authority. That's the 4th C. Cultivate a humble attitude of submitting to an authority. Some of us think that we have grown too much, we have so much, that our influence is so loud, and yet we don't even see how we need to be humble enough to submit. I have hammered on this again, and I think it can never be oversized. The need for us to be disciplined enough to acknowledge someone and know the role they are playing in our life and begin to open up ourselves for them to play that role very well. So, and something I want you to know is that mentorship is a cheat code. Mentorship is a cheat code. If you have a mentor who speaks over you, if you have a mentor who prays over you, who teaches you the right things, who is guiding you not to make the same mistake they made, you are blessed. So, if you want to be successful, you must be mentored. If you already have a mentor or coach, ensure they are actively playing their role in your life. Some of us have mentor and the mentor cannot even say anything to you and you will listen to them. The mentor cannot say cut that relationship with that guy because he's leading you into trouble and you will not be able to do it because you think there's no other person out there, and this person is telling me, is it because she has already married her own or he has already married his own, so he's telling me not to tell my he's telling me things that I'm going to do that I do not want to do. Don't claim someone as a mentor to influence some of the decision. I told this in the last conversation, I think. You're going to have someone as your mentor and there is no time you come and sit under their feet and learn. You'll be running around claiming, oh my mentor, oh my mentor, oh my mentor, but you don't get anything. You don't give yourself to the things that that person is teaching, to the things that that person is telling you to do, to the correction, to the rebuke that the person is giving you, then you are going to be in trouble because you will always fall into trouble. So I want you to look at this whole thing differently. The last C is checking with yourself from time to time. It's not enough to have goals and visions for your life. You must document it, and beyond documenting it, review it from time to time. Review them from time to time, either alone or with an accountability partner, to be sure that we are still in line. So when you even have all of the big dreams and you start working towards it, there should be constant review where you are asking yourself, am I doing this thing in the right way? Am I getting it right? Or am I not? So you can do it by yourself, or if you have an accountability partner, you do it with them. Now, the code of conduct for the bride fit for the palace. 1, see yourself as one, even if you do not look like it right now. 2, there must be a Mordecai in your life that can call you out. After Queen Esther became queen, Mordecai was telling her, your people are about to be destroyed, and she was saying, oh, you know how it is, oh yeah. Mordecai said, see, let me tell you something. You see all this thing you are doing, that you don't think that it's important that you look at this, and if something will happen, in fact, deliverance will come to the Israelites anyhow, anyway, but without you. But I can assure you that you and your father's house will be destroyed. Somehow, I make a joke out of it and said, Uncle Mordecai, you know that you are part of this family that you are going to destroy. After all, the parents are not there, so hello, you are the one that is going to chop it. But that's on the lighter note, right? So He said, do you know if you have come here for such a time as this? And she recognized and she started working on herself. She started saying, no, I'm going to go and confront this whole thing. I'm not going to fold my hands and watch my people die. Because if I had died in the whole thing, I will not become this queen that I am. So I need to appreciate and begin to do something about it. Now, dress like a queen. That's okay. Dress like that queen that you always desire to be. Always, don't dress crassly. Don't dress in a way that is looking like you are coming from the streets. Dress like a queen. Dress in a way that people will not misquote you or misunderstand you to be a prostitute. I'm sorry to use that word, but people dress like that and you're wondering what kind of job does it? She a hookup girl? So you cannot dress crassly, you cannot dress provocatively, you cannot dress tattered and expect a king to get attracted to you. Number 4, take care of your health, physically, emotionally, psychologically, sexually. Do not look tattered and expect a king to notice you. That can only happen in your Nollywood films. It's not in real life. It's not in real life. Oh, no. It's not in real life. It's in Nollywood. So don't live your health just anyhow. You need to be able to follow through with your health. Eat the right kind of food. Exercise. Stay fit. You are not staying fit for somebody else. You are staying fit for yourself. You're staying fit for yourself. Take care of your environment. Take care of your hair. Groom your hair if you can. But if you can't, cut it low and keep it clean and neat always. Just like my own. Now, build yourself. You don't go to the palace empty-handed. You don't. You go with a lot. You build by getting skilled up. You build yourself by reading books. You build yourself by developing your mind. You build yourself by being in the right circle. You build yourself by having the right people around you. That changes that can change you, not make you more comfortable to remain in your mess. So if your friends do not challenge you, do not push you to do the extra, to go the extra mile, to do the extraordinary, they are just telling you, don't worry, just relax. You don't have to worry, you don't need to work, you don't need to. If those are the kind of friends you have, they will make you to relax. You just kukuma just go and sleep. Just go and sleep. So hold tight, number 6, to the relationship you have with God. Ultimately, it is God who is our king that ordains us queen too. If God does not ordain you, because it's the Bible that said that if the king found the queen Esther found favor in the eyes of the king, and the king was like, yeah, that's what I want. And trust me, Esther would not have been the most beautiful girl on that day. The Bible says she was beautiful, yeah, but she wouldn't have been the most, or she may not be the only beautiful girl. There could have been other people who were also beautiful, but somehow God did it for her. Esther could only win the throne because God was with her at every single place she finds herself. So, is God with you? Can you rely on God fully? I want you to answer these questions genuinely. Now, let's look at the 3P pathways to becoming that bride that is in the palace. Number 1, purpose. Find your purpose. Why are you here? What drives you? What gives you motivation? What takes away sleep from your eyes? All of those things are what will help you to find your purpose. Secondly, prepare yourself. Preparation. Second P is preparation. Prepare yourself so well that you are not scared of anything. You're not scared of marriage. You're not scared of having children. You're not scared of continuing your career after marriage. You're not scared of anything. You know that, with the things I know, I am, and also with the help of God, right? So the last P is purity. Of course, in talking about preparation, I said when preparation meets opportunity, it feels like a luck. So they'll be like, ah, you're so lucky. I'm not lucky. All of us had the opportunity, but it is the prepared one that packed up the whole game. So are you going to be the one to pack it up by coming prepared, or are you going to be the one who is worried and at the end of the day, you bring nothing? You have nothing prepared. Last P is purity. The palace is, secured by chastity and purity. You can't live anyhow as a bride in the palace. If you are living your life haphazardly, then forget about being in the palace. If you're going to be in the palace, you have to put yourself together and do the right things that you need to do. In my final words, the bride made for the palace is that woman who fears the Lord, who carries herself with respect, who submit to a Mordecai in their life, and who carry herself like a victor and not a victim. So today I challenge you, become a bride meant for the palace today. Has it been a wonderful time? I have had a great time myself doing this with you. So thank you so much for joining me into this conversation, and I hope that it was not a waste of your time and it was worth it, and you have particularly picked up something that you will do today in respect to it. If you have questions, put it in a community group, or you can even put it at the end of this video, and when I get it, I will respond to it. So if you're watching a replay up to this point and you have a question on based on what I've taught, please put it in the comment section. I will attend to it later. Thank you so much, everybody, and do have an amazing day. I remain your servant, Coach Christy Ikedeze. See you next time. I'll see you in our next webinar, same time, same place, next month. Until then, stay safe and peace out.